Hello, listeners and listenettes of the internet, and welcome to the 9th episode of the Funfiltered podcast. I'm Jordan, and I'm joined as always by Sam.
Hello.
And Eddie.
Hello.
Did you have a thing you wanted to do?
I wanted to... a video went up on the Funlimited page yesterday that I regret. I don't regret what some of the things I said, but I regret that it was uploaded. So I'm sorry about that, and apologies to Fidzy. I didn't mean to put you in that position. I didn't know that would happen. I didn't even know it would be sent, to be honest. But needless to say, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get clear the air. So yeah.
Okay. So we have things to discuss for This Is the Podcast.
Okay. The first thing I've written down is The Irishman.
Okay.
So, Jordan,
Yes.
let's start with... because
Eddie's eating brioche, by the way.
Yes, I am.
It's worth trying. Well, I wonder where you're going to go from here, because first podcast it was Skittles and Pringles, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now by episode 19 we've graduated to brioche.
And,
where the hell do you go
and
from
diet tonic water.
And diet tonic water. So where the hell do we go from brioche?
along the way.
Yeah.
One of these days I'm just going to come in and eating like a full dinner. Just
A full Sunday roast.
just carry on.
Pheasant. Yeah.
Have you ever eaten pheasant?
No. I'm working class.
Alright, fair enough. I'm not going to go any further into that idea. Yes, okay, we've all seen The Irishman.
Yes.
So yes, Jordan, what are your thoughts?
I like The Irishman. It is a very long film, obviously. It's 3.5 hours or 3 hours 20, something like that. I didn't get through it in one sitting. I don't think many people... I hear online that some people have devised a system for watching it episodically. Right. I don't know if I did that system.
Okay.
But yeah, overall, I think it's not one of his best films, but it's a pretty solid outing by Scorsese. And yeah.
Okay. What were you then, Eddie?
Okay. It's light, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think it is too long. Maybe I would have benefited from splitting it up because I watched it in one viewing.
Okay.
And he now makes longer films. We know he does.
Mm-hmm.
How long was Wall Street?
It's about 3 hours.
Okay.
And
I haven't seen
at least 3.
What's the one in between?
Silence.
How long's that?
That's very long as well.
Yeah. But I think the difference between this and Wolf of Wall Street is Wolf of Wall Street to me, although long, and at times you notice that it is long, I was enjoying that. It's, all about, it's quite sort of debaucherous and full of chaos, so it's quite a lot of fun to watch.
Right. Whereas
with this, there's only so many times I can watch a mobster kill people.
Does he kill a lot of people? And I only remember like 3 or 4 hit scenes.
It got to the point. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this person died, and then he's walking along the street and he kills him. Then when he has to, I feel like we should have done a spoiler before. Because I just casually started talking about it.
Well, you said that he killed. Like, it's a mob film. Obviously, people are going to die.
It's a true story as well.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's a version.
An ostensibly true story.
It's a version of one story.
Yes. Yeah.
Because this is the version in which Frank has kills
Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's obviously disputed as to whether he actually did. But it's the scene where it gets to the point where he kills Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think by that point, again, as I said, I think I was just switching off. And it got to the point where that happens, and then I looked at the runtime, and there was still like 45, 50 minutes left, and I go, oh, fuck's I was tired.
Yeah.
So I don't think that helped.
Yeah. I think that it's obviously really well made. It's a Scorsese film.
Yes.
You can't criticise the making of it. I think it's probably his longest film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. I think it's his most expensive film as well.
Yeah.
So in
terms
terms
of the CGI.
In terms of, obviously, because it's not really been in cinemas.
Yeah.
It does look terrible against its budget for box office.
Yeah, it's
because its box office is 6 million.
It's like 150 million. It's made a 6 million back.
Yeah.
But it's on Netflix, which I think the only reason it's in cinemas, I imagine, is so that it's an award contender.
Yeah.
So they've released kind of like done the bare minimum in terms of a cinema release.
Well, I was something I've got on the list, which I'll just say. I assume it is on at their cinema because Netflix have got a cinema in New York now.
Oh, maybe.
So I'm assuming it's on at that cinema.
Isn't the qualifiers for the Oscars? It has to show in an LA cinema for at least a week.
Yep.
Okay, so it wouldn't be an awards qualifier if they showed in Netflix cinema. In the Netflix
Not
cinema.
alone, no. They've done a
limited release.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't. There's nothing I personally like disliked about it. I think it's just kind of a law of diminishing returns for me with Scorsese, of like, we have seen this kind of story done before, not precisely this way, but it's kind of a Goodfellas.
Yeah,
It's on those tracks, and I've just seen it done. I like Scorsese films now. A lot of it seems to be, that actor has shown up and is in a wig and a suit.
Yeah.
That actor has shown up and is in a wig and a suit. And I don't know, like, I just found it sort of unvital, I suppose would be the word I would use. Not unnecessary.
I do find it strange that the more kind of interesting narrative aspects of the film don't really kick in until like the last half hour.
No.
So it's interesting that it's as long as it is when, for the most part, ostensibly, it is just kind of another mob film,
I know when he kills Jimmy Hoffa, it's sort of meant to function as, the whole film has been building to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess it was executed in the way it was. Yeah. I guess it was executed in the way it was to sort of highlight the casualness of mob, like,
It's
it's
like,
not done melodramatically.
Oh,
it's
he's
just,
like
yeah.
dead.
I get that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But by the same token, I didn't feel the punch that the film wanted me to feel when he was killed.
I took that as intentional. That like, he's just dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that was the intention. But
You're
as a
supposed to-
result as well, I've been watching for 3 hours. And,
Okay.
And now it's kind of... That's the thing. Out of all the films he's done, it feels strange that this story is the one that gets the 210-minute runtime.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it warrants that.
I mean, I don't feel like the hits. The only hit that I thought was kind of fun / cathartic was... Is it Crazy Jimmy or something like that?
Crazy Joe.
Crazy Joe. His, when they kill him in the...
Yeah. I'm not saying I want it to be cathartic in like violently cathartic.
Yeah.
Just narratively cathartic.
Okay.
And I mean,
but it's
that's a personal thing.
Like Hoffa is his friend.
Yeah,
he's Frank's friend. Frank doesn't want to do this, but he has to do it. It's not supposed to be like cathartic. It's supposed to be
narratively cathartic, not emotionally cathartic.
Yeah,
I don't want to feel like yes, he did it.
No, I know.
Just in a way that like even something that's unresolved and unsatisfying can be narratively cathartic,
right?
Because it reflects the intention of the filmmaker or whatever.
But surely, because this is a hit he didn't want to perform, surely what the fallout of it would be more kind of interesting / cathartic than the hit itself, right?
Yeah, but that's my point. Is I didn't feel that. I didn't feel.
Oh, you
that
mean after the hit as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get what. When a film is over 3 hours long, there needs to be some reward.
Yes.
At the end of it, and I didn't feel. And again, you could argue it's sort of the same with The Wolf of Wall Street, where a lot of people are arguing. Its critics are saying it's excessive and it's over the top, and then you had its defenders saying, "Well, no, it's deliberate. It wants to make you feel like you're kind of sick with excess." And for the long time, I didn't buy that, and I'm not sure I do now. But I kind of understand the argument. So I could also understand people saying about The Irishman that the ending of it's not meant to be fulfilling. It just ends because the reward for a life of murder and lying is you're left alone in a nursing home.
Yeah.
And anonymous, and because it does just end. He's sitting there.
Yeah.
He doesn't even.
We don't
even
with him asking for the door to be left over.
Yeah.
Open.
The door left open.
Yeah,
but
we don't even see him die. You would think in a story like that, it's like, the final frame is him dying, but we don't even get that.
So I would completely get that argument of you're not meant to feel kind of complete when it's finished. You're meant to sort of feel empty.
Yeah.
But a 210-minute film is like, I need something more than that. You can't leave me feeling empty after I've given almost 4 hours of my life to this thing.
Yes.
It's, I don't know, but that is a personal thing. And because I also acknowledge at the same time that they executed their intent perfectly.
Yes.
I would argue. But...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the film Scorsese wanted to make.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Minus the title, which threw me off the first time I saw that.
Yes.
Because in the film, the title is "I Hear You Paint Houses."
Yeah.
Which is the title of the book that it's based on.
Yes, and they've done it because of the book, and it's a nod to both. So it's like,
well, they wanted to call it that.
Yeah,
I think, and the studio was like, The Irishman. Call it The Irishman.
So you get that title at the start, and then The Irishman.
Why?
At the end.
Why did they want to call it The Irishman?
I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that was a not creative decision.
No.
I think I heard in an interview him say they wanted to call it The Irishman, So,
Yeah, so
we wanted to call it that, so we had our cake and ate it. So.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what The Irishman achieves as a title that I Heard You Paint Houses doesn't.
I don't know. It's kind of. I don't know. I was going to say it adds a level of kind of not mystery
Because
it's the Irishman. What does that mean?
De Niro is Irish. He's like the only Irish character in the film.
Yeah.
So okay,
It's
it's
he
like
stands out amongst.
it's making a point that
Yeah.
he's going to be our vet, but this film obviously makes clear that he's our main character.
Yeah.
So why does the title?
It's called I Hear You Paint Houses, isn't it? Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's that pivotal scene.
Although the mob is now going to have to get some new code words.
Yeah.
We, you know,
That's the clip that every show has been using as well. Yeah. It's him on the phone with Tino.
Hoffman,
You know, I hear you paint houses, and so that's what it's called.
Yes. Yeah.
In the same way that El Camino is actually called.
I was just about to call back to this.
The Lost Frontier.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no complaints per se. Just it felt like okay.
One of the complaints I do have.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's because those were the guns that were around at the time. So it may well be that those are how those kind of guns sound.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt like the guns felt quite fake. Like the noise they make.
Fake in the sense that they don't sound like movie guns, or they don't sound like guns. Because movie guns and guns sound different anyway.
I didn't think it sounded
normal
like
gunfire sounds actually kind of pathetic when you play it next to like movie gunfire.
Yeah, it's like a pop, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was either, and I think that was probably the. But I remember just going. I remember this sounds like a toy gun I had as a child. Like.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But worse.
Okay. That's not something I picked up on.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that personally. I do have a complaint, and that is that while I mostly wasn't put off by the de-aging technology, I thought it worked quite well.
Yeah.
I sort of went in obviously erroneously expecting a much younger De Niro.
Yes.
I thought we were going to get like from Bickle era De Niro through to now or even older as the film does.
Yeah.
So I was a bit disappointed when we were getting like at most Goodfellas.
It's not. Yeah, I'm
De
not
Niro.
entirely sure. I think I read a thing somewhere where I think the youngest Pacino is like 39.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming like they don't really go below their like late 30s.
No,
because there's not really a time in the film where any of them really look like young men.
No, and that's the thing. Like at their youngest, they look about 50.
Yeah,
I would say. Like again, Goodfellas sort of age. And so that was a bit disappointing. And also, their physicality never matches the age they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
De Niro moves like an old man.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Like when he kills Crazy Joe and throws the gun into the river. It's just kind of like you can tell it's laborious. He was like, you can hear the bones creaking as he does
I don't know. I kind of like that though. I picked up on it as well as like this is clearly just because the actor is aged, but I don't know. There's something appealing about how kind of like awkward the movements are.
I don't know, but
because he's just a guy as well. Like it's not like
there's a veracity to
the
like
hitmen. The mob are not elegant. You know, they're not
No, they're not. They're not professional hitmen.
No.
And there's a veracity to being clumsy and kind of walking in and kind of not moving like a ninja. But it's the kind of awkwardness that's a result of being a geriatric.
Yes, that's definitely
and that
clear.
was the problem. It's like when he kills Crazy Joe, he kind of spins, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And and wheels the pistols. And it just came across as doddering rather than clunky. And it wasn't meant to be either. I think it was meant to be smooth.
Oh, okay.
He walks in, turns, spins, shoots.
Yeah,
leaves.
because it kind of as he spins, it sort of transitions into like a panning of the whole room. Doesn't it? So it is supposed to kind of tie it together.
Yeah. So I thought that was a bit distracting.
Okay, but I think the de-aging technology was pretty good because I don't.
It was good considering
the thing that sold it for me was that I couldn't tell at what point in the film they look the most like they actually look in real life. You know, there's no point in the film where I feel like we've reached actual De Niro now.
So De Niro definitely looks like he does in the nursing home.
I think that is the closest. Yeah,
that might be the closest. Yeah.
With that, there was no aging. They probably just a bit of makeup.
Yeah,
just like we're gonna make your hair even grey than it is.
Yeah.
And you can do that.
But like with Pesci, like the final couple of scenes with Pesci where he's like trying to like break the bread and he's just like shaking. That looks older than Pesci looks now.
Yes, yeah.
So there was like, oh, we've passed that point. I didn't even realize. You know?
Yeah, I mean, De Niro is perfectly fine in it. Mm-hmm. It felt like he stopped turning in great performances quite a long time ago.
I think this is one of the better ones he's done in the last decade.
Absolutely,
yeah.
But it's perfectly like functional. It doesn't feel like a powerhouse performance.
No, well, I wasn't really clear, and I don't know if this is just a product of the film or a product of the performance. I'm not really sure what that character's supposed to... Because there's interviews where, like, apparently De Niro brought this book to Scorsese, and he ended up getting really emotional about the character, and that's what sold the film to Scorsese. It's like, oh, we have to... he cares this much, we have to do it. But the character feels very just kind of like...
Yeah, that's...
I'm just kind of here.
That's not reflected in the in the performance.
Is he exec producer, De Niro?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah. Like, I didn't feel... Even though, like, when he has to kill Hoffa, you can tell he's not happy about it. There's no, like... He just seems a bit like, oh, I don't really want to do that. As opposed to, oh, my... one of my closest friends here, I'm going to have to kill him.
Yeah, and I know, like, with... like in Heat, which was De Niro and Pacino's first film, like, the kind of... Not the joke, but the sort of established dynamic is that De Niro is like the button-down, low-key actor, like in Taxi Driver, where it's, it's not Joaquin Phoenix crazy.
No,
it's very subdued. And Pacino is over the top and fiery. That whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's sort of there in The Irishman, where De Niro is kind of more passive and Pacino is Pacino.
Yeah.
But that is a problem I have with it. I think that there's a good chance all three of the leads will be up for Oscars. And Pacino is just playing Pacino. Because he does that same voice in every film he's in.
This is the same Pacino you saw in Ocean's 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
After, like, the 90s, he just started being Pacino. De Niro was fine, and Pesci, it was nice to see him not do a Pesci.
Yeah, Pesci's not Pesci.
I would imagine...
was the best performance.
I would agree, and I would agree that like that character is meant to be almost like a subversion of what Pesci is known for doing, but also it's probably a necessity because Pesci can't do the Pesci thing anyway.
Yes. No. Yeah.
And that's what Stephen Graham basically fills that void. Of playing a role Pesci would have played 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I am interested to see because Pesci came on board because of De Niro.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to know like what that conversation was. It's like because a part of it apparently was, look, we might not do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're old as fuck now. Like, we might not get another chance.
The film sort of is, reflects that in almost kind of a meta way, in that it's the end of the mob thing of like, this is the last. It would kind of feel wrong if they did another one after this. This feels like a final statement.
I was going to say,
a last will and
testament. It's got Pesci, Pacino, and De Niro in it, and it's Scorsese.
Yeah, it's like this is it. This is the magnum opus.
Yeah,
ideally it functions as the magnum opus. Of that,
but it's not a magnum.
No, Goodfellas remains the magnum opus of the mob movie.
Yeah, I feel like when taken as a film on its own, it's sort of like it's fine. You watch it, don't watch it. I don't think it really matters whether. It's not like, oh, you have to see it, but it's also not a film that you should avoid either.
No.
But I think the film becomes better when taken in the context of Scorsese's career.
I think so.
This is the longest film he's done. It's mob movies, which he made his name on. It's bigger. It's got all these great actors.
Yeah.
And the ending, which for me is like the best part of the film, is after the Hoffa hit, when they start to get old and they're getting like, they're all in prison and like they're all dying off one by one. It's a shame that that's kind of less a feature of the film.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's kind of... the film maybe could have done a bit more with that.
Well, this is dare I say, right?
I agree with you. I think it would ruin The Irishman if Scorsese were to do another mob thing. I think this has to be it now.
Yeah. But at the same time,
I know.
If he wants to do another film that's like maybe 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And because here's the thing, he did Goodfellas, which again, as far as Scorsese is concerned, actually mob movies in general, that is the magnum opus.
Yes.
But he did The Departed after Goodfellas, which I also love.
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, if he wants to do... But yeah, it's just because of the subject matter, it feels like this should be the end.
Well, yeah, it feels like a send-off almost.
It does.
Because, like, the film... There's a point where the film just kind of feels like, oh, it's still going. And not, like, in a negative way, just like, oh, any other film would have ended by now. But we're watching De Niro get old. We're watching him, like, fall over in his house. We're watching him being put in an old...
I would say, if they had ended it with him killing Hoffa, I would have been fine. I think that's my problem. If they'd have just ended it with, he's done that, and then that was, I would have been fine.
Okay. I think there's like, so I've heard quite a few critics say that it's profound in the sense that it explores the decrepitude of it, of those characters, and it's something that he hasn't done before. It's not profound because here's the thing, I like that they do that in the film, but it's just an extra shade to what he's done before. There's nothing surprising about it.
No.
It's like, they all end up in prison or dead. Like, yes. Watching Goodfellas, you have that in mind of like, what, at the end of all this, they're just going to end up dead.
Yeah, they're not just going to get away with it.
So it's certainly not profound. It's nothing that it's like, I hadn't considered that before. It's like, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Maybe that, and maybe that's okay.
I was wondering, because obviously the framing device of the film is De Niro in the old folks home, kind of talking to camera.
Yeah.
And then one of the last scenes in the film is him talking to like these cops who are like, obviously they're on the Hoffa case.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be the conclusion, is that De Niro has he's kind of realised, there's nothing really left to defend. So he's kind of telling his life story to these cops.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of interesting that, I don't know what would be more interesting, if they did that or if they went with what they went with, which was to the bitter end. He kept the secret of...
Yeah, but he wrote... I was saying the book, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it's...
Did he write the book or was it written about him?
Let's have a look. No, the book was written by Charles Brandt.
Okay.
Who's that?
Just a writer, I would imagine.
Okay.
He's a former investigator and writer.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, so maybe he's one of the guys he's talking to.
Yeah, maybe.
But as far as I think I'm aware, they've gone with how it ends in the book.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the film is more of a theory, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, so many people have confessed to killing Hopper.
Yeah.
Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
This is one version of events.
Yeah. So it's kind of it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah. It's long.
It's long.
Good. I will actually. Let me quickly check what that proposed viewing.
It's 209 minutes long.
I'm wary of that. Like, I completely understand if you don't want to watch it in one sitting. Like, I get that completely, but I don't think you should impose an episodic structure on it.
I can't really advocate for watching it in one go because I didn't watch it in one go.
No, that's fair.
I don't know if
I watched it in two. But
the
same day. I watched an hour and a half, had something to do, and then went back to it. So it was essentially one viewing.
Yeah, I think for most people, because we all kind of watch films a lot. I watch films a lot, and it intimidated me, the running time.
Yeah.
So if it makes people
increasingly, like the wider my film palette becomes, the more longer run times are unappealing.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of obvious in the sense of I watch more, so I want them to be shorter. But I've also, over the years, kind of accrued the general impression that a film doesn't really need to be longer than 2 hours long.
No, it doesn't.
You can say everything you want to say in 2 hours.
If I were to say the amount of minutes that each episode, quote unquote, lasts, would you know roughly where in the film we would be?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Because one thing I will say about it is,
in that case, listeners...
you interrupt me a lot this episode.
I'm sorry.
I thoughts.
No, it's just because I'm aware that if I don't say things, I'll just forget about them and they won't be addressed. So, listeners, I encourage Kevin Sweeney, a journalist named Kevin Sweeney, apparently devised this system. So if you're interested in watching The Irishman and you really don't think you can do the 3-minute 20 runtime, look up his system.
3 minute 20?
3 hour 20. Yeah, if it's 3 minute 20. You've got no excuse really.
Which version did you? I'll watch that for 3 minutes and 20.
But yeah, apparently he's devised the system. Okay. So if you genuinely don't think you can do the runtime, but you do want to see it, maybe look that up. Maybe
but what's the Funfiltered recommendation? I say if you think you can do it in one, do it in one.
Yeah, I would have preferred to watch it in one. So
yeah,
I just don't want to rewatch it. I'm not
going to
rewatch.
No, but that is another problem with extended runtimes. Is you're in no rush to watch it again. I'm not saying that everything has to have good rewatch value, but that kind of runtime is really an event of like, oh God, I'm kind of in the mood to watch that, but it's fucking 210 minutes.
Well, the question is, if it was a shorter film, would it have more of a... I know it would have more of a rewatch value. Yeah. But take like Blade Runner 2049, for example, which is also a very long film.
Yes.
But I feel like if that was a shorter film, I still don't think that has much rewatch value because it's very like...
Well, I don't know.
It's very tonal.
Here's the thing, because we saw that in the cinema.
Yeah.
And I have the DVD, and I really loved the film. And I've wanted to rewatch it loads of times. And since seeing it in the cinema, I never have, purely because of the runtime.
Okay.
So, because it is a very languid.
I've only watched it once.
Yeah,
it's not dense.
You sort of like bathe in it as opposed to experience it.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah.
But with The Irishman, I feel like if it was like 2 hours or whatever, then it is the type of film that you could just like, I'll stick on The Irishman and I'll just watch that.
Because Scorsese does make the pace is always very well judged. And like with The Irishman, I think that considering how long it is, it's not, there's not much fat.
No.
It's not an indulgent film in that way.
Mm.
It's indulgent just in its subject matter, but it doesn't feel like, well, that was a totally unnecessary scene. It's quite tightly written for 210 minutes.
I feel like you'd have to properly comb through it if you were trying to find stuff to get rid
well,
of.
you mentioned before, you said you wouldn't know what to take out, even though you want it to be shorter.
Yes, I said to Sam, I was like, I wouldn't know what to take out in terms of it.
Yeah.
Because I said with The Wolf of Wall Street, you know, there are things they clearly left out about Jordan Belfort. This feels like they didn't know what to put on the cutting room floor, so they just kept it all in.
Okay.
They went, we've got this book by Charles Brandt, we're going to do this book.
We've got De Niro, we've got Pacino, we've got Pesci. Give them the screen time.
All of it.
Yeah.
And we're giving them the screen time.
The interesting thing is that kind of Steven Zaillian, I think, is known for writing quite long scripts. But at the scripting stage, it must have been at least 210 pages long.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the interesting thing of like...
I mean, I can't fault him for that, because...
No, it's fair, but that's the thing. Because
that's a long time to write.
Because the film is not languid, because it's not just a visual spectacle. It is dialogue and plot and scenes and things happening constantly. Like, that screenplay would have been incredibly long.
Yes.
You know, it would have been at least 200 pages long.
Yeah.
So I wonder whether he wrote it as kind of a first draft. I'm like, right, we'll cut it down. Like, you know what? Actually, it's all there.
Yeah.
Let's just make that, you know.
Maybe.
Yeah. I will say, I did quite like Ray Romano in it.
Yeah, he was surprisingly quite good.
Yeah.
Not that I thought he'd be bad. But
No, but just...
yeah,
It was,
he raised his game to
Yeah.
that level.
Obviously, it's now the second film this year I've seen with Jesse Plemons in it.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Only two scenes. There was nowhere near enough Jesse Plemons. I don't think.
It was just...
But he's in Black Mass as well, so he just pops up and he's like, I guess he's got like a gangstery kind of face.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah,
it's the scene. The one thing I will say is there's a scene where it's like after I think he's realised that because Hoffa is like what his
Father.
but is he actual father or like stepfather or
I'm not sure.
yeah, I'm not sure.
it's something like that. And it's the look on his face is just he's dead now.
Yes.
He's realised that he's just driven
Yeah.
De Niro there to kill him.
Do we know what happens to him? Because he drives off with one of the guys.
Just carries on his life, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But thinking about that,
the fish. Why'd you bring a fish? Why didn't you wrap it up or whatever they're talking about?
we talked about the execution of the Hoffa assassination and the whole thing of they really go minute by minute in terms of the driving there.
Yeah.
And like you get it. It's kind of the mundanity of it because they try to talk about anything but that. And
yeah.
And thinking about it, maybe some of the reason it didn't have the impact that it should have done is because of The Sopranos. Because I've seen all that done.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I've seen it done that way in The Sopranos, of like the mundanity of next to the ultra violence and the, you know, people just go home after it and have to cook dinner and.
It could also just be like a tension building exercise that just
I think
didn't
that's what they
work
were trying
for
to
whatever
do.
it was.
Yeah.
It was an interesting little tidbit actually. We've just started watching Boardwalk Empire.
Yes.
Because I haven't seen Boardwalk Empire before.
No.
And Stephen Graham is in that playing Al Capone.
Yes.
Right. And obviously the first episode is directed by Scorsese.
Yeah.
So I think I saw the first episode of Boardwalk Empire maybe a day or two before The Irishman.
Yeah.
So it's just like when I saw Stephen Graham again, it's like, oh, hello. I just saw you like a minute ago as like a gangster guy.
Yeah.
I don't think that enhances anything at all.
No,
That's just
a lot of Boardwalk faces show up in The Irishman. Yeah, I think he's recruited a lot for his posse.
You mentioned that, and then what came to mind, because I recently watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
As did I, yeah.
And I'm trying to find Chuck Manson on this. So
David Harriman is
yes.
his name,
So he played Manson in the film, and he's also playing him in
Mindhunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did just sort of to my sort of mind of that's who he's going to be known now for playing Chuck Manson.
It is weird to be cast in the same role in the same year.
He does look like him though.
He does.
He really does. And I don't know how much of it is the filmmakers, like how they've made him up.
But he
looks
does
like
with
him.
makeup. He doesn't like particularly look like him without it.
Okay.
Not makeup, you know, like wig and everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I never would have thought, oh, Damon Harriman is like the obvious choice to play.
Yeah.
Because I was familiar with him before these things. He's in a show called Justified as kind of like an idiot comic relief character.
Right.
But I mean, and like very different versions of the Manson performance as well. In terms of like in Mindhunter, that is not a character study, but that's he gets a scene, he gets a showcase.
Yeah, they kind of like
Scene.
make a point of showcasing his sort of like the thinking behind everything he did.
Yes.
Whereas in Once Upon a Time, it's almost like a cameo.
It's a shallow cameo, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Which is fine.
because he's in it for like a couple of shots. One scene for a couple of shots.
Yeah,
That's all you get.
that's it.
And I was really surprised.
Yeah, and I get it. Like they're already dealing in delicate areas. Like they don't want to show too much of Manson. But I will say, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I wasn't a major fan of either. But when Sharon Tate comes out of the house and he kind of like clocks her, like because he's obscured by the woman he's talking to, his face is obscured, and then he kind of just tilts his head to the side, and that generally felt quite chilling. Like obviously no historical context to it, but just something about his expression as well.
It feels like that shot is like the setup to a grand reveal.
Yeah,
like the camera is supposed to pan to the side and then we see.
Oh, it's Manson.
But he kind of like preemptively. It's almost like, oh no, the film's not ready for you yet.
Yes.
Why are you showing your head?
Yeah.
I would say the thing with that is obviously I know Tarantino is known for subverting the truth and changing history.
Yeah.
Yes, he's done that.
But going into this, I had completely forgotten about that. So when she doesn't die, I was like,
spoilers for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
When she, I mean, it's been out for a while. Like, so that's basically on DVD.
I feel like that's one of the first things people talk about anyway. So people should broadly know.
But when she doesn't die, I was like, oh shit, I forgot he does this.
I
was like, and then because he killed Hitler in Inglourious Basterds. I forgot he does this.
There was quite a lot of anxiety when it was revealed that Tarantino was doing a film that sort of dealt with the Tate murder. Because he's not exactly... Well, he's a child, isn't he? He's a great film... He's a brilliant filmmaker.
He gave DiCaprio a flamethrower.
Yeah, he's a brilliant filmmaker. But Quentin Tarantino is not a sophisticated writer, let's say. No, good dialogue. Really great dialogue. But it's not mature. I wouldn't hire him if I was making like a really sober... look at a subject, It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun is what he does. So, but when he's dealing in real historical... atrocities, it starts to become and I'm not like you have to be uber careful about it because I love Inglourious Basterds and I'm not going to begrudge an indulgent sequence where Jews kill a bunch of Nazis and kill Hitler. I'm okay with that. The same with a slave killing his masters, I think once I was not worried, but like when I sat down to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I was like, please Quentin, just like be respectful. And it was like quite a nice surprise that it was sort of the inversion of... It was gruesome, the ending, and I loved it. It was a great explosion of violence. But it was sort of like... I don't know, it felt slightly more mature than Django and Inglourious, where it was... You had that ending where... This is the very end, so proper spoiler alert. When DiCaprio is outside his house after everything's happened, and then the neighbour, the friend starts talking to him, and then Sharon Tate invites him in. You just have the shot where it's kind of rising above the houses. And you're like, okay, this was just a kind of a fantasy of how it could have been better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that felt slightly more mature. So that was quite a pleasant surprise.
I thought the one thing coming into it is I had seen a trailer, and in the trailer you see Brad Pitt, Cliff Booth, and the young girl in one of the trailers. And I was like, given how it's 2019, the Me Too movement and everything, I did wonder how, because it looked dodgy from the trailer.
Okay.
So I was like, how is that going to do? And actually, I thought it was handled quite maturely, and I was I was like, oh, okay.
What do you mean by dodgy?
He's an aging man, and she's an under 18.
Right.
So it looked like, and even in the film, there's a thing. She's like, "Do you want me to suck your dick while you're driving?"
Sure.
And I was like, okay, it's an interesting thing to put this in a film.
I like where this is going.
Interesting. What are we going to see next?
Yeah.
And then
it sounds more like a Jordan film.
And then, well, we know he likes his dialogue in porn, so it's fine.
What?
You like your dialogue in porn?
Dialogue, okay. I thought you said you like your child in porn.
No, but and then they threw it on the head by the fact that he actually asked her for idea. I was like, okay, fair enough. I wasn't expecting.
Yes.
That it's Tarantino, as you pointed out, he's a child.
Yes.
He could have easily just taken the mick and
made this. There's no Michael Bay moment where he pulls out like a card with like the Romeo and Juliet law, and he's like, oh, it's okay, I can fuck an underage girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to The Irishman, because we completely just...
Was there anything more to say about it?
Yeah,
because we got onto Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If there's anything you want to say about that?
No, I feel like I said everything I wanted to say about The Irishman.
I recommend Once Upon a Time in Hollywood over The Irishman. I think I enjoyed that more on balance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely the one that likes The Irishman the least of the three of us.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I appreciate it. I wouldn't say I did like The Irishman, but as like a that's a good film.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what I enjoyed more, is the honest answer. I recommend The Irishman more than I recommend Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
Just as like when you try watching something different.
Okay.
Because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a bit long, and it's hardly a Marvel film, but it's still kind of a sort of childish film in the sense of it's kind of fun and violent. You know what I mean?
Okay.
In that Tarantino goofy way. The Irishman definitely feels like a more mature offering.
Okay.
So just for the sake of that, I would say, why don't you give that a go?
Okay.
But I kind of broadly recommend both, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I recommend both.
Tarantino is also a law of diminishing returns for me. Where I love, he was pretty much my favorite filmmaker when I was a teenager, and now I kind of roll my eyes more at him than I don't.
Right.
Come on, Quentin,
I
why are you
do
doing
think, because this is technically speaking.
Is that you, or
number
has
9.
he changed his?
Oh, I think that's me getting older.
Yeah, because I don't feel like he's changed that much.
No, his films are worse.
This film feels like the first kind of a gesture and a departure from what he's known for. Like
In what sense?
Hateful Eight, Django,
Right.
Inglourious, they're all kind of the same sort of thing. Whereas this feels like a bit more like an outlier in terms of his filmography.
Well, he doesn't drop the M-bomb in it, does he?
No, but there's also kind of
So
no
that's
opportunity
a
for him to
change.
do that.
No, but I mean, like, you say that, but like, he has fabricated opportunity for himself to do that in every other film.
But also,
made.
he's like in slave times, or in like he's kind of
okay. But if we're going to talk about that in particular, you've got to question the thinking behind that is which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Okay.
Did he want to make a film where you can't
I
say
can't
that word
imagine.
No,
that
I don't
he's
know.
just
I
like,
genuinely think it, not like, I love that word so much I'm going to make a film about it. I think he loves blaxploitation films.
Yeah.
And wants to be allowed to use that word with impunity.
Okay.
And so makes films where it's kind of okay to do that.
Okay.
Inglourious Bastards, it's acceptable in a way because they're Nazis.
Yes.
Slave owners and Django Unchained. But then you've got Pulp Fiction where he says it in Pulp Fiction. He casts himself as a guy. He casts himself as a guy who just says it.
And you know full well he sat down looking at the script going, I say this?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but it was the 90s. No one cared back then.
Dude, what, the Rodney King riot? It was like the Rodney King riot.
I'm sure less people would have given a shit than they do now.
Yes, fewer people would have given a shit. Yeah.
People would have given less of a shit.
Yeah.
And also, even if they gave a shit, they would have said less.
I agree.
Now
People
everyone
might
is-
have been uncomfortable with it. Now
Yeah.
he'd get boycotted and whatever.
Which means if he does, because this is what technically film number 9. He
If
said
he-
his thing
Yeah.
was he'd do 10.
It's not. It's more than 9, but yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of what he calls
What he thinks is
ninth film.
he ignores the lesser films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means we've technically got one film left.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you're going off what he said.
Yeah.
Which I know we've talked about the fact that we both think he'll probably just carry on.
I think he'll just carry on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do wonder what then will be the next film.
Well, Kill Bill 3 has been touted as a possibility, as
Yeah.
has the Star Trek film that he was going to make.
Yes.
Which I'm not sure he's the man for Star Trek.
I think they'll end up leaving Kill Bill 3 because before this came around, Kill Bill 3 was in talks then.
Yeah, it's been in talks for years, hasn't it?
But as far as I understood, Uma Thurman doesn't really want to work with him.
Okay.
So
Do we know why?
there was something that happened on set
Oh, okay.
in, I think it was volume 2.
Right.
Well, yeah, it would have been Cubs last time she worked with him. So something happened, and then he was just like, "Well, this is the film."
Oh, right. Okay. Something she was uncomfortable doing.
So yeah,
Right.
and then she was like, "He just made me do this," and then he was like, "Well, I didn't make you do it."
Right.
And then she was
Okay.
like, "So
Okay.
I don't think So I think you would have to.
Well, Tarantino, didn't he say that he knew about Weinstein? Like he was.
He comes up with he
He
comes
was,
up with a lot.
he was clued in on like what he was doing.
I really like Tarantino films. That doesn't make him sound good, does it?
No, like I hate him though. I really don't. I think he's obnoxious,
Oh, he is.
and I think he's.
But yeah, I feel like he's obnoxious and he owns it.
I don't know. Like he's one of those guys. He'll say something and then like insistently laugh. Like what I just said's funny, isn't it? After everything he says.
It's weird. I don't like because of the interviews I've seen with him. I haven't seen any recent ones. I don't know if he's changed his tune at all. But there've been like a bunch of interviews where I've watched them going like, how are your films as good as they are?
Right.
Like, you just seem like the kind of guy who either just doesn't know what he's doing, or is like, no one listens to him. Like, we don't take Tarantino seriously, you know. And yet, he's always got great dialogue. He always seems to get the best performances out of his actors as well.
I think that's the thing regarding taking him seriously. Like, he does make some quality films.
Because now
I don't think you should take him seriously.
No, because now he's got a legacy behind him. So people will like, Tarantino has a track record. We will listen to Tarantino. But like in the beginning, he was still making great stuff. And he was still the same guy back then.
Yeah.
At what point did they go, oh, actually, he's a bit of a, he's Tarantino, but he does make good stuff. So we'll pay attention to him.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Tarantino is he's got big name friends now. So like, you're looking for like the next Tarantino film. Say Samuel L. Jackson's in it.
Yeah.
You're gonna oh shit, I want to be in a film with Samuel L. Jackson. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna okay, Tarantino, Samuel L. Jackson. This is gonna be a good thing.
Well, he writes fun dialogue, and I think actors like delivering fun monologues and little speeches and colourful, language.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he attracts. And he has historically been very good at writing dialogue. The older I get, that seems less impressive.
Okay. Because I was going to say the Coens do fun dialogue as well. Do they have the same appeal, do you think, as Tarantino?
Absolutely, but like without
actors, I mean.
without the indulgence.
Okay.
Because their films aren't. Well, they're not. They're quite efficient filmmakers.
Yes, they are.
So like the Coens are the more adult versions of Tarantino.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
And they're probably, I think, my favourite filmmakers.
Well, Fargo's a masterpiece. No Country for Old Men is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Spartan Fink is a masterpiece.
Yes.
Year after year, they've had their stinkers, but overall output, I would say, they're also my favourite filmmakers.
Yeah, they're good. No, I do really like Coens. There's like I don't know. There's something there that kind of stops me from feeling like I don't know if you guys get this. I get this weird thing sometimes where I'll like a thing, but it feels like there's almost like a barrier stopping me from like oh, but I can't say it's like I can't claim not ownership of it.
Right.
But it's like I don't feel like I can quite say it's like one of my favorite things.
Okay.
I don't know if you get something like that.
I used to hide the fact that It's a Wonderful Life was my favourite film. There was like a weird...
When did you come out of the closet?
Oh. Wow. Around the time I started going to uni.
Right.
So, it's been my favourite film for years.
Why did you keep that a secret?
I'm saying what's technically a Christmas film is my favourite film.
Right.
It was just like a weird...
Yeah, the Criddle Shame.
The Criddle Shame.
Yeah.
No, well, say what you want to say and then I'll...
No, but I was really, quiet about that. I definitely wouldn't have told people it was my favourite film.
Right.
And then I got asked in uni what it was, and I was like, oh, it's this.
Do you know what? I say that, I mock, but I had a similar issue where my favourite film is Shaun of the Dead. But when people, especially when you have a reputation for being the film guy, and people are asking you what your favourite film is, it feels ridiculous.
Did you say Taxi Driver?
No, Taxi Driver is what I think is the best film ever made. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a lie, but I would definitely, to people who I wasn't close with, say Taxi Driver. Because if you're saying Shaun of the Dead, if it had a better title even, because it's a parody pun title.
It's a pun on Dawn of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. You can't say that as your favourite film. So I do get that. Because I feel like if giving that answer, I have to provide all the context and the reasons why it's my favourite. Like, I have to defend it, Whereas with Taxi Driver, it feels like you don't have to defend it.
Just, people are like, oh, yes, he clearly knows what he's talking about. No, I was going to say, in terms of this barrier, it's not shame that's stopping me. Like, I unashamedly say that, like, Sonic Heroes is my favourite game ever. It's not a shame.
You should have some shame.
It's not a shame problem. Oh, actually, we'll come back to the term that we coined surrounding that. Sam is just coining terms left, right, and centre to the point where we were considering making it a segment.
Yeah, Lexicorner. Sam's Lexicorner.
Sam's Lexicorner.
So every podcast, I'll coin a different term. Yeah. Usually for the cultural discourse.
It might be recurring because I don't want it to become like a weekly thing because you'll just run out.
Yeah.
Or
I don't think so. I don't think I'll be limited in my. But yes, no, I don't want to force it.
Yeah, it's like, when you copy someone, it's like the mirror principle. Just like shit like that.
Yeah.
It's not shame, this barrier. It's almost like I haven't done enough to earn
Yeah, you haven't done the required reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't earned like the right to say, oh, I love this thing, or I claim.
Right.
Like if someone like shows me a great film, like when you showed me, you didn't show me No Country for Old Men, but you got me to like
Right.
you made me aware of No Country for
Okay.
Old Men. Like when I first watched that, it's like, oh, it's a great film, but I don't feel like I can,
Right.
because this was shown to me. I almost feel like I can't claim.
You did discover it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the same with Parks and Recreation. Like I saw a few episodes of Parks and Recreation ages ago and really, really liked it.
Right.
But it wasn't until I'd seen the show in its entirety I finally felt like I'd earned the right to say, oh, I really love this show.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
That might I don't know if that's a thing people have. It might just be a weird thing that I have.
No, I recognize what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think I've personally really experienced it. Because usually if someone has shown me something that, it's happened so rarely, but if someone has shown me something that I've loved,
Yeah.
I'll sort of go off and then sort of justify my fandom of it by reading up on it,
Yeah.
and then rewatching it, and becoming more of a fan of it than the person who showed it.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's usually been my course. Right, we have brought up the Sam's we should have a jingle. What's the jingle be? Lexicorner. Sam's Lexicorner. Hello, Sam's Lexicorner.
It's like we've been sponsored as an ad by Sam's Lexicorner.
I generally should come up for a jingle for it.
Yeah.
Like what should it be? What are you gonna do?
Oh,
What are you gonna,
George's got an idea.
Turn it on. Okay, we're gonna improvise
Okay.
a jingle. Sam's Lexicorner. No, I don't like that. No. Give me 4 notes. Lexicorner. Okay. Do it again.
Oh, shit.
Da. Do that. Da. And again. Okay, so on 3, do it.
Okay. 1,
2, 3. Sam's Lexicorner. Right. Welcome to Sam's Lexicorner. So this week, in Sam's Lexicorner, the phrase that I'm going to introduce to the discourse is, well, Jordan, when you define it, and then I will unleash my essence onto the table.
Oh.
You're right there, Eddie? Getting a bit,
that's an image.
Is that hoodie coming off? It's like,
no, that is just an image everyone is going to completely see.
Yes.
Me unleashing my Sam sauce on the table.
All over the table.
Yeah. Is it better if you just say it and then I define it? Because I don't know how to define
No,
it.
because the big reveal has got to be the term, sure.
All right. Okay, so...
previously on Sam's Lexicorner...
there hasn't been a lexicon. This is the first lexicon.
Okay, so retrospective Lexicorner.
Okay, right.
Retrospective Lexicorner. That legacy casting we introduced.
Oh, yes, which is when a film is paying homage or sort of retreading the story or the movements of an old film, and you cast someone from the old film as kind of a way of saying, oh, this is sort of like an intentional homage.
We acknowledge our influence.
We acknowledge our influences, and it's a way of kind of adding validity to this interpretation of that stuff.
So Lexicorner will be filled with such things.
Yes.
Those kind of ideas.
So on this Lexicorner, the term Sam is about to reveal...
Well, no, you haven't defined it yet.
No, I'm leading into the definition.
Oh, right, okay.
The term you're about to reveal is...
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes. The term you're about to reveal is, in terms of like video games, when someone is playing a video game that they really like, but they're kind of like accommodating for unintentional flaws in the game in the way they play it.
Yeah.
So if you're like playing a video game and the character movements are very stiff, or the game is like glitchy, or there's like...
Or there's like a delay when you press
a delay when you press a button, you sort of start to play the game in a way that accommodates for those flaws, usually because you like it so much.
Yes.
Yes.
We are calling that
Yes.
the jank concession.
The jank concession.
Jank concession. Yes, when the game is a bit... Because I was going to say when the game is a bit janky, but that kind of gives it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the game's a bit janky, and it's obviously not intentional, but you accommodate for that through your gameplay.
Yeah, so for instance, if when you have to jump and press triangle, there's a few seconds delay, you have to accommodate that into the gameplay.
Yes.
I'm like, it's like, right, okay, bear in mind, because of the flaws of the game, I have to give 3 seconds for this jump or whatever.
Sonic Heroes.
The jank concession.
There is much jank concession in Sonic Heroes, which I think is kind of why I first asked, what is this term?
Yeah, the jank concession.
The jank concession.
And that's this week in Sam's Lexicorner.
Shit, I turned it off again. Hang on.
On 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Sam's Lexicorner. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Go on again. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Sam's Lexicorner. Bye.
I was just finishing the tune, so you didn't have to do
These
a thing.
will get better over
The
each week.
jingles will improve.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yes. So the new James Bond trailer is here.
Yes.
No Time to Die is the name of the film.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that first, shall we? What do you think of the title?
I think it's shit.
It's just bland, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because when they announced the title for Spectre, I didn't like it.
Okay.
Because we knew
Yeah.
where it was going. I feel like Spectre, as soon as you could see where they were going with it.
Yes, okay. But like beforehand, like I remember the trailer being quite good and Sam Mendes was back directing it. So I was like very hopeful.
And Christoph Waltz.
Yes.
Yeah, Christoph Waltz being the villain.
Whereas now the new trailer's come out and Christoph Waltz is in it.
Yes.
And as soon as he came into the trailer, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, they're trying to do a Hannibal Lecter thing, aren't they? I think.
So I don't think much of the title.
No.
The one thing we don't know yet is who's singing the theme song. That's not out yet.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Because I suspect that whenever the film comes out and we get that basically guaranteed to be an Oscar-nominated song.
Absolutely, yeah.
If Sam Smith can win for it, fucking anyone can.
I agree.
Do we have any suspicions as to who it might be?
It's always the same people.
There's a few people in this. There is an artist called Tom Walker who keeps going on about wanting to do it.
Okay.
And someone's theory was the reason he keeps going on about it is because he can't tell anyone he's doing it.
Right.
And so he just keeps putting his name out there.
Okay.
Obviously, Radiohead are often floated because they did one for Spectre.
Yeah.
Paloma Faith I hear talk about quite a lot as well.
Yeah. Adele is
Right. Okay.
still in the conversation.
Has that ever happened where someone's done 2 Bond themes?
Yeah, Bassi did 3, I think.
Okay.
Yes. But, some of the more modern songs haven't been great anyway.
No, I like Skyfall.
And I like You Know My Name.
Yes, I like Skyfall with the exception of I think it's quite unforgivable to rhyme Skyfall with Crumble. I think that's
fair enough.
unforgivable. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's a bit much. But what do you rhyme it with, you know?
Or Fall.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot.
No, Skyfall. You got to factor in the sky as well.
Right.
You know?
Skyfall, Let Them Tremble.
Well, give me 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Do your thing. Oh, also, we won't talk about Doctor Who again, but the first episode of Doctor Who, which is coming back on New Year's Day, is called Spyfall.
I saw that, yeah.
It's going to be
Khaki.
Is it? Because it's like MI6. I think they're dealing with MI6. So like, James Bond reference.
Yeah.
Aren't we clever?
Right, yes. So, the trailer.
Yeah.
We don't know about the song. We've also got the trailer, we've got the title.
Yeah.
So before the trailer came out, we had the teaser, which came out like 2 days before and basically went, hey, 2 days' time, we got this film announced.
Yeah, I'm increasingly, it's becoming like a Russian doll, where it's like you get a teaser for the teaser, and then even in the teaser, you get like a few quick images and this welcome to the James Bond trailer.
Yeah.
Why are you previewing the preview?
I don't know. Well, part of it is just because people's attention spans are going down the drain. So they need to show you like the I think it's genuinely like, we'll show them like the exciting parts of the trailer.
It's mad. That's mental.
But another theory I have is because on YouTube, for the most part, you get like 5 seconds before you can skip an advert. So I think they put all of the good shit in the first 5 seconds.
Right.
To kind of catch your attention, and then so that you don't skip the advert.
Okay.
I think that's genuinely one of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, just install ad blocker. It makes your life so much nicer.
Indeed it does.
Sorry, content creators. I'm just
Us.
It will fuck us over in the end of the day.
At least at this time, we're not putting ads in our content. If there are, it's not because of us. So we don't. It doesn't really.
But so with the trailer, obviously Christoph Waltz is in it.
Yeah.
We get the first glimpse of Rami Malek.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a Ponce.
He does look like a Ponce. I'll talk in a little bit about a theory I mentioned to you that's been touted on the internet. Mm-hmm. Moneypenny's back, Q's back. The new M is back.
Tanner? Is Tanner back?
He's not in the trailer.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay.
We've got a new 00.
Yep.
Who is female and black.
Indeed.
There's a real one to say #MeToo. Just because it feels like that's entirely the reason they've gone that way.
No, I
I feel like you're waiting for me to kick off. That's why I just let that silence hang.
Me Too isn't the. Is
no,
that right?
it's inclusive. I don't.
Oh,
Is that-
it's that ballpark.
Is
Yeah.
that Me Too?
No, it's not Me Too.
No.
It's that, you know.
It's that
Okay.
ballpark. But you know, we've got her.
Yeah.
It's got the return of the Aston Martin DB5. It's got guns that come out of its headlights.
Yes.
Which makes me really want to do
gonna say-
donuts. I really want to do donuts in the DB5.
You sounded really excited. It's like, it's got guns.
Yeah, if I had all the money, I would.
Get guns in your car.
No. I'd buy a DB5. So
Okay,
seeing it,
okay.
I love that.
Right, okay. Is that in Skyfall?
Yes, he has one in Skyfall as well.
But it blows up.
Yeah, so he's got another
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Because
got another one.
they just keep buying him Astons.
What's the salary for a secret agent?
Oh, it's fairly high.
Okay, because I never really thought about that. Because obviously, there's all these exotic locales, these guns, you know.
Well, they usually
But, like,
give
how
him the
much do they
cars.
actually make? Because, I mean, like, government employees make shit. So, yeah.
Is he having to pay for his own like plane tickets and
Do you
stuff? Or is that
think he has to keep receipts? And he has to get MI6 to validate.
I would say,
for it?
to be fair, they do usually moan about him having to bring. He's like, can you at least bring it back in one piece this time? Because they're supposed to need it again.
Yeah, like,
So
I'm sorry, it's the premiere in this time. We're not putting you up in the fucking, you know, this Cannes 5-star hotel.
But then in Casino Royale,
Yeah.
he wins a lot of money playing poker.
Yes, that's
so,
true.
I mean,
That's true.
the man probably is paying them back all his debts.
Yeah, he's
By
a gambler,
gambling.
isn't he? Yeah, that's fair.
But he also spends a lot of money on gin and
He does.
martinis. So,
Yeah. I think he frequents hookers. Like high-class call girls.
oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I mean, not in this
Well,
film.
he
Not
could-
in this film,
no? Yes.
because in this film he has a girlfriend.
Yeah, or well,
Possibly
it
a
looks
wife.
like they've broken up, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, because she's hid. You know, he thinks everyone's got a secret, and she's hiding something from him.
Yeah,
and she very clearly is.
yeah. And they clearly are estranged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose I want to say it's nice that they. I think it's nice that we've got what is essentially a Bond girl in more than one film,
Yeah.
because I feel like that's new.
Yeah. Yes.
But I also think it's going to completely undo anything that they did with her in the last film. I'm not necessarily. I mean, the last film's terrible, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're broadly fans of Spectre.
We're
are we?
not. No, it's probably the most disappointing film of the decade for me.
That's fair.
Because of what Skyfall was.
Yeah. Because the expectations I had for it.
Yeah. Also, then more of a disappointment than Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, because I liked that when I first saw it.
Okay.
That's withered on the vine since. Whereas Spectre, I immediately was not a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem with Bond is they at the end of every film they sort of try and resolve his arc as if it's his last film, and then have to compromise it with the following one. So yeah, at the end of Spectre, he drives off. Doesn't he quit at the end of Spectre?
Yeah, he quits for her. He gives up everything for her,
Yeah,
which
he
they
gives everything
highlight
for
in
her.
this trailer.
Yeah,
And then clearly
he's
she's got a
brought
secret, and he's brought back.
yeah. Which is fine. I don't have a problem, but like it's like every film they're doing that now. It's like he decides that he's out,
Yeah.
and then he's called back for something.
Yeah.
Why can't he just be like he's an agent and he wraps up this job and then the next one, you know?
Yeah.
That's why we'll talk more about Skyfall in a future podcast. But
Yes.
I like at the end of that, it resets the whole thing. He's like, right, you ready to come back to work? Yeah, I am. Good, right, that's the end of that film.
Yeah.
He's ready to go back, you know? And then at the end of Spectre, it's just he retires again. It's like, for fuck's sake, you know? But yes, the trailer. I mean, it looked good.
Yes.
It looks like it is a good trailer.
Yes, it's a good trailer. It's well cut. Rami Malek looks like a Ponce, but vaguely interesting.
Yes, but there's that like
I love a vaguely interesting Ponce.
vaguely interesting Ponce. But they've got that stuff, that like voiceover stuff in the trailer where it's Rami Malek saying something like, "You have license to kill. You something. It is like looking into a dark mirror of myself." It's like, all the Bond villains of the last few years have been like the shadow of Bond, of like what could have happened if he'd gone a slightly different way. It's like, just do something different, man.
Because he's related to Blofeld, isn't it? And it's all connected.
And they've got like the cracked mask motif. It's like, I get it. Like this could go one of two ways, you know.
Yeah.
But Yeah, go on. What's your theory, or the theory that's been floated
Okay,
around?
so the theory that's been floated around, because he was a member of Spectre when it happened originally, is that Rami Malek is playing Dr. No.
Okay.
Mr. Nobot.
Mr. Nobot. Yeah. So many titles. I know the name, but I know nothing of Dr. No. Are we excited? Are we supposed to be excited for Dr. No?
Not really. I mean, it's not like a...
Blofeld coming back has happened recurringly, so that
Yeah.
you kind of get that.
Yeah.
This would be, I think, the first time they've brought back someone else like that.
Yeah, because obviously what they did is they had all the villains from Casino Royale through Skyfall and then tried to bind them together
Through Spectre.
So, they were actually all operatives of Spectre.
Yeah.
So this would be the first, it's Spectre now. Spectre are the villains.
Yeah.
New villain that, is one of the old ones. Because he has scars, doesn't he, as well? On his
Yeah,
face.
the bottom of his face looks burnt. Almost.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, if they're doing that, he could be Goldfinger. He could be like any number of...
But I did say, when I told you about the fact that was the theory, it was like, it feels like they're going to... how they're going to tie up loose ends.
Okay.
Because it's going to be the last Daniel Craig film, as far as we know. So it'll bring that chapter to a close. Hence Christoph Waltz being back in it.
Yeah.
Why I think it's being touted is the possibility of being Dr. No, because Dr. No was a Spectre villain.
And the first.
Yeah, and he's the first.
In the films, anyway.
Yeah. So I can kind of see the logic.
Yeah, sort of.
But then again, there's the bit where he's got the mask in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that ever being a thing with Dr. No.
No, Doctor No has a claw.
Yeah.
I think. That's his, physical deformity. I mean, it feels like if you're doing the last Daniel Craig film, Blofeld should probably be and I would imagine they're going to break him out or something,
They'll need him in some regard.
But I don't know what the ultimate villain should be for Craig's Bond then. It feels weird just throwing in, it's just another villain. It feels like it should have some sort of resonance.
Which, again, I think is why it's being touted that it's Dr. No.
But why, he has no connection to Craig. Do you know what I mean?
No. But
if he's connected to Spectre, though.
Yeah, but we've already met the head of Spectre, so what would just another random operative offer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they were going down what I would expect with that, it would be Dr. No has come in because Blofeld is out of the picture.
Right.
And he wants to keep Spectre's work going.
Do you think he's going to kill Blofeld as now he's you've killed the head of Spectre, now I'm the big bad guy,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's all speculative at the minute, but it looks alright, it looks good. But I do not trust trailers anymore.
No, trailers these days are
deceptive.
Very deceptive.
Yes.
I mean, I had more of an issue with The Irishman than you guys did.
Yeah.
But my issue is, I thought it was a lot slower than the trailer paints the picture of. I thought the trailer that I watched was quite fast-paced and everything like that.
Right.
And I thought The Irishman was a hell of a lot slower. If it had been as fast-paced, I think I would have enjoyed it more.
It's interesting because I wouldn't call The Irishman slow. Despite its length, I don't feel like it's... he's sort of he's in a scene where it's I've just met this guy who's in the mafia, and then 2 scenes later he's working for this guy,
It's just a lot of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
This thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I think particularly, as we said, I think the Spectre trailer came across quite well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, it remains to be seen.
I mean, it's a decent director, but it's had so many production problems.
They lost Danny Boyle.
They lost Danny Boyle, and John Hodges. Yeah. And I don't know, usually when things go through this much development hell, it tends not to be a good sign when it comes out the other side.
No.
Yeah.
They brought in Phoebe Waller-Bridge to do some dialogue rewrites, I think, to make it funnier. She is funny, to be fair. And Spectre wasn't. I remember them trying to be funny, just rang. He's like Mickey Mouse joke or something.
Yeah, he pretends to be Mickey Mouse to get into the Spectre meeting room or whatever it was. Didn't you say, I think you said to me at the time, it's the first time you've read producer notes that you completely agree with?
Yes.
For Spectre.
Yeah, because it was leaked, wasn't it, in the Sony hack.
Yeah.
And it came, all the notes that producers have been sending to them, make it this, make it that. And usually the cliche, isn't it, is that you've got the tortured artist who just wants to make their to create their vision, and then the studio are like, no, we have certain requirements.
No, call it the Irishman.
Make it broader. Do this, do that. But this was the first time I'd actually seen them and go, oh no, the producers were right on the money. Actually, the script was just terrible. Do we have anything else to say about the trailer?
Do we think, because wasn't it speculated when she was announced that this
speculated
that the black woman, the new 00, was going to be 007?
She is, right?
She is.
She's certainly a 00.
Well, she was going to be. People thought she was like the new James Bond, as in she was actually James Bond.
Yeah,
didn't we?
How they deal with that remains to be seen.
Yeah,
I'm assuming she will be the new 007, but there is a part of me that also thinks they'll go, oh no, we'll give her a different 00 so she's her own thing.
I don't know, because I think like their version of, obviously people have been saying, why can't it be a black Bond, whatever.
Yeah.
A female Bond. Less talked about, but it's been there over the years. And so it's like, but you can't. It's James, like you just can't do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like making her 007 is their way of preserving, it's still that kind of film, but it's going to be a black female lead.
Well, my question was going to be...
But the problem is James Bond is James... It's not the 007 that matters. It's the James Bondness of it.
It's when it comes down, she's actually called Jenny Bond.
Jenny Bond. Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like, I don't care about who has the 007 assignation.
No.
Like that is...
Sean Bean was in whichever one it was.
005, I think he was.
It was 006.
6 was it?
Yeah,
okay.
006.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't care who has that. I care about the James Bondness of it. Yes, he's a chauvinist, but that's the character.
That's James Bond. That's James why Bond. We like James Bond.
We like James Bond because he's a chauvinist.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I think you change, because isn't there? I saw a thing a while ago that said like after this film they're going to try and phase out Bond girls. I think.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Because in modern times James Bond has troubling aspects. Apparently. Right. There are some aspects of the character that don't fit that well in modern times. So, but my question was going to be like, because they're not called James Bond films, they're called 007 films, aren't they? That's kind of like the...
Are they?
Yeah, I think so. Because like you've got...
No way.
No, you've got Casino Royale, you've got Skyfall, but 007 is always accompanying the title.
Yeah, but no one refers to them as 007
Nobody
films.
refers to them, but if you actually look at the terminology, 007 is what is kind of in all of the titles. Because it's Skyfall 007, isn't it? Like if you look at the cover of Skyfall is
like 007 is always on...
007 is always on the poster.
Casino Royale. I think the 007 is literally incorporated into the Casino Royale.
Yes, but no one thinks of it in those terms.
No one thinks of those terms, but is that the direction they're going to go in? Is it going to be like, right, this isn't just Daniel Craig's last film, this is James Bond's last film, and now this new 007 girl is going to be the 007
That's one
forward.
Potential avenue. We'll keep the 007 thing, and that will be the consistent factor, but it'll now be Lashana Lynch or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do that, because I think people still want James Bond.
Yes.
So I think this is their concession to, right, here's your black female James Bond.
Okay.
She'll be in this film, and she will be 007.
Okay.
And so people can say, oh, there was a black female 007.
Right, okay. Just not a James Bond who was... Yeah.
Yes, but then we'll just get another Bond. Because people will want Bond. People don't care about... Just make another spy movie.
Yeah.
Just any other spy film.
Yeah, but is the studio sort of disconnected enough from that to think that people will accept someone in the stead of James Bond?
I don't think so. Because, no, they're big on... Like, Barbara Broccoli, who's run pretty... Like, she's a woman, and she's, like, always been behind preserving that idea of Bond. Okay. So, no, I think we're going to get... Yeah, because no one cares. Again, it's just like... If it's not James Bond, then it's just another high-profile, high-budget spy movie. We don't need the 007 thing. Yeah. Who cares? So I think that we'll get her in this one. It will be implied that, like at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, where Bruce Wayne retires and then Robin discovers the Batcave.
Yeah.
We won't get that film, but like the idea of it will live on.
Yeah.
And I think similarly, Bond will die/retire. And right, okay, we have a new 007, and then the next film will just be another James Bond.
Yeah,
is my suspicion.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just talking of casting. You asked if Tanner was in it.
Yes,
he's on the cast list, and also in the trailer, Jeffrey Wright.
Yes,
he's back as Felix Leiter.
Yes,
for the first time since Quantum of Solace.
Yes, yeah.
So he wasn't. Yeah, so Interested. I'm interested to see what part he plays because he's technically CIA.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're cautious going into
Cautious.
No Time to Die.
Yeah, cautious. It looks good. It's a good director, but cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll say the other reason for the connection to Dr. No
Yes.
is because when Felix Leiter asks him for help, they're looking for a missing scientist, and obviously Dr. No was a scientist.
Oh, okay. All right. I assumed it was the villains have kidnapped the scientist, you know?
No,
But,
there's a missing scientist.
Okay.
But he's technically listed as Safin.
Safin, yeah. I'm going to say that David Denchik is playing the scientist that goes missing.
Fair.
Who's doing the cinematography for this one?
Cinematography, Linus Sangren.
Okay, yeah. Know what I mean. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
George, Prison Break.
Oh yes, Prison
You
Break.
wanted to talk about Prison Break, and that ties into something that I wanted to mention.
Oh, I know what you're on about now.
Yeah.
Yes. Eddie, have you seen Prison Break?
Nope.
Okay. Right. So Prison Break was a show that came on in like 2005, I think it was. The basic premise is an innocent man is framed for killing the vice president's brother. He's then sentenced to death on death row. He's on death row. They've tried to get him out of prison. Through legal means, there is no way they can do it. So his brother decides that he's going to get himself in prison so that he can break the innocent brother out of prison.
Yes.
And that's the basic premise of the show.
And the brother who gets himself thrown in prison is a genius structural engineer.
Yes.
Who happens to work for the company that designed the prison.
Yes.
So is able to secure access to the blueprints.
And sort of like the iconic image of the show is Michael Scofield is the name of the genius brother.
Yeah.
Lincoln Burrows is the name of the innocent brother.
Yeah.
The kind of famous image of the show is Michael Scofield's completely tattooed torso.
Yeah.
And it turns out in the first episode that these tattoos are in fact the plans of the prison that have sort of been like coded into his tattoos.
Hidden in the
tattoos, yes.
That's kind of cool.
I really like the first... Okay. I really like...
It's a cool idea, but
Yeah.
when you see the graphic, it's ridiculous.
It's a bit much, yeah, because like you see the tattoos and then they kind of digitally like
just superimpose
the plans over it, so it's a bit like, ooh, okay.
Yeah, because he says to his brother's like, what's going on with the tattoos? He's like, look closer. And then the camera kind of zooms in on the tattoos, which is just like dragons and stuff. And then they impose lines over it.
Like the pipes of the prison.
It's like, no, that's not clever concealment. You just CGI'd onto it. Anyway.
Yeah.
That sounded so cool, and then you explained
it. It's like the Prestige and Now You See Me. It's like, it's clever in the Prestige because it's actual trickery and misdirection. Whereas in Now You See Me, like, you know, that sequence that everyone highlights where they're like, it's the coin and they're passing.
Yes, yeah.
It's all CGI. There's no like...
Oh, do you mean the card from the second?
The card, sorry. The card, yeah. Where it's like, but that's not real.
Yeah.
They're not really doing any of these things.
No.
Anyway, carry on.
So that's, So the first season is all about him breaking his brother out of prison, and obviously there are complications, and you find out that the government are somehow involved. There's like a conspiracy surrounding Lincoln Burrows, and there's a lawyer on the outside who's trying to break him out, but she keeps hitting these road bumps. Road hurdles. Speed bumps? Keeps hurdles. Whatever term you want.
Road bumps, speed bumps.
Road bumps, speed bumps.
I like the term.
Roadblocks, speed bumps.
Yes.
Although I like the term road hurdles.
Road hurdles.
Road hurdles.
She keeps hitting road hurdles. That's so she could, the government are like chasing her down, and they like all this different stuff. That's where the show begins. I want you to keep this in mind as I start going through the seasons, Eddie, and I want you to remember that as we progress, the show started with, I want to break my brother out of prison because he's innocent.
So started with what the title is.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it's a mini-series idea. Stretch.
Oh yeah, because it's network television.
It's network television. So
it's
also 22 episodes.
It's 22 episodes of season, yes. So that's series 1 of Prison Break, okay?
Yeah, season 1 is, just again to recap, he gets himself thrown in prison, and then using the tattoos follows a step-by-step plan to get himself out of his cell and to get his brother out. As the plan is enacted, other people find out about it. They have to involve other prisoners.
Yes, there are complications he has to accommodate for.
Yes.
Okay, so spoiler alert, but also it's a prison break show. It's only going to end one of two ways. Yeah. So at the end of series 1, they break out of prison. Okay.
Wow. 8 of them break out.
8 of them break out of prison. Originally, the plan was like 4.
I am shocked.
Originally, 4 people were supposed to break out, maybe 5. but it's 8 people now.
Yes.
Series 2 is them on the run, basically. Okay?
Yeah, I expect that.
Yeah.
There isn't much to highlight from Series 2 other than the fact that they're on the run.
Yeah.
And
the company.
Yes. We find out who's actually behind the conspiracy and they become a bigger factor in the show.
An FBI agent, the man in charge of hunting them, you sort of find out is being controlled by the company, and his orders are to kill all of the prisoners who escape, basically, for reasons.
Yes.
Yes, so that's essentially season 2.
That's essentially season 2. And season 2, further spoilers, but, we're going to end up talking about where the show goes. We kind of have to spoil. At the end of series 2, Lincoln Burrows, the innocent man, is exonerated.
Yeah.
It's revealed that he didn't commit the crime, so he's exonerated. Yes. At this moment, his brother, Michael Schofield, gets thrown into prison because it's believed that he murdered a company agent.
Yeah. In Panama.
In Panama.
Yeah.
Because they escaped to Panama, because obviously if you're over the border, the police can't get you. But then he ends up getting thrown in prison in Panama. So that scuppers things a little bit.
He fucked up.
So
along with some other characters.
Other characters who have joined us along the way.
Who does Sarah Wayne Callies play in it? Because I know she's in it.
She plays the prison doctor in the first season, who he falls in love with.
Okay.
And she ends up sort of becoming instrumental to their escape. And she, we've already given spoilers. She does help them escape. And then she kind of becomes wrapped up in what the company's up to, and
fair. Yeah, because in the first season, her father is the governor.
The governor, yeah.
The governor of Illinois.
She's equally terrible in this as she is in everything else.
Oh, yeah. And also, it should be pointed out that Dominic Purcell, who plays Lincoln Burrows.
Yeah, what should be the emotional core of the show, I guess.
Yes.
The man who's on death row and has sort of accepted his fate is fucking terrible. is the worst actor.
Yeah, because
I thought Wentworth Miller was the one everyone praised out of.
Yeah, he's like in the first season pretty good.
Yeah,
because it works in that. Basically, their acting styles are Wentworth Miller is the genius, so he squints a lot, looks at things as if he's like really thinking about it, and talks very calmly because he's got everything figured out, which works in the first season because he's a bit of an enigma.
Yeah.
His brother is meant to be the more like, he's a street thug, he's quite hard-headed, he's like, he's the aggressive one, but everything is delivered at precisely this pitch and tone. Everything.
That's Michael, really dull.
Michael, oh my god, we're in deep trouble. Oh my god. His eyebrows never move, and he's fucking terrible.
He is.
It sounds shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have Sarah Wayne Callies.
Who can't emote.
No, she can't emote.
Is she worse in this than she is in The Walking Dead? Or
it's worse writing, so yeah,
fair.
I would say so.
That's a tricky one. Her performance is probably equal, but it is the writing that, makes the difference. So yes, Series 2, they escape, Lincoln is exonerated, Michael is thrown in prison. Okay? Doesn't feel that far-fetched yet, right? No. Still feels like the same show. Okay. Series 3, Michael is in a prison in Panama, and it is revealed that there is somebody, I think a former company agent, who is in the same prison that the company want Michael to break out because he has something that could basically engineer the company's demise, and they want to take him out. But they need Michael to get him out of the prison to do it.
Because Michael is a prison break genius.
Because he broke out of Fox River, which is the prison from the first one, and it's a maximum security prison.
So he broke out of one prison, so surely he's the only guy for the job.
It should be pointed out that the character of Michael Schofield is it's revealed that he's like a genius. It's not clear exactly how, but he's a genius. So, which in television language means that he just knows everything.
No, doesn't he have a condition or something that makes him see things like those
like Sherlock Holmes?
Like those like explosion diagrams where it's like a car, but you can see like every individual component of the car.
Yeah,
does he? Okay,
I think he can do that.
He's TV genius.
He's TV genius,
and he's a structural engineer, so he's like an architecture genius.
Yeah,
but.
So he's a cunt.
Before he gets himself thrown into Fox River. Before he gets himself thrown into Fox River, it takes him like a year at least to plan everything.
Yeah.
Like it's an intricate thing. But yes, I just want to make that clear.
Yes.
So that where this ends up.
And not only that, but because of the writer's strike, Series 3 is like half the length of every other season.
Yeah.
So he's got like half the time to execute a plan that he hasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
But spoiler alert, he does.
He does.
Series 3.
Shocking.
There's nothing else that happens in Series 3.
Nah, Season 3 is bland.
Yeah, Series 3 is bland. Okay, still the same show, maybe?
Oh, no, sorry. One little detail.
Yeah.
So Sarah Wayne Callies, who's been on the outside, as like the company sending like a message to them of like,
Yes.
you will do what we say. They kill her, they decapitate her, they put her head in a box, and they send it to Lincoln, who's not in prison at this point. And he's like, oh shit, I can't tell Michael this.
Isn't she in season 5?
She survives that.
Yeah. She's in series 4 already. She's in the one.
Eddie's just retreating from the table.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So series 3, we're pushing it a little bit, maybe. Like he's like, oh, you broke out of one prison, therefore you can break out of this prison. Okay? So series 3, they escape. Series 4, Michael and like the people, some of the people who were involved in the Fox River escape, and also Lincoln and Sarah, they are sort of recruited by this, is he FBI? Or is he Secret Service?
He's not Secret Service, he might be FBI.
They're recruited by this FBI agent who wants them to steal 6 components of like this supercomputer owned by the company that contains plans for infinite renewable energy. And like if they get it, then basically anyone who owns it can control the world because they can just create infinite water or infinite solar energy.
We've jumped the shark onto the island of James Bond. And not even a good James Bond.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not about a prison break.
No. The twist is they're breaking in to the company building because they've got to get the stuff.
I'm not going to lie, you saw the show horrendously. It sounds shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it is.
Okay. So that's series 4. I think stuff happens in series 4, but I don't really... Obviously, Sarah Wayne Callis comes back.
How does she come back from
Okay.
being decapitated?
Oh, they lied to Michael.
They get around it by saying it was another woman's head in the box.
Yeah.
Because you never like fully see her head. You kind of do.
Yeah.
But he opens it, and then you quickly see a head.
It's worth saying, in real life, there was a contract dispute, so she's not in series 3 at all. So they kind of... The reason you don't see the head is because it's a fake head.
Yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't even really look like her.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be her head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like Lincoln sees it, and it's like, oh my god, they've killed Sarah. But then like, it just looked like her.
Surely decapitating her is like the best thing that could happen in her career.
Yeah. Yeah, she might have moped a little bit. Like, ow!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not being funny, but you know, the best thing about the end of the end of 7, the what's in the box.
Yes. Yeah.
That's one of the best things because of the who they decapitate.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
Decapitate Sarah Wayne Callis and make everyone happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're starting the petition now.
Hashtag decapitate Sarah Wayne Callis.
We're joking. I really don't like that. It could be
There will be a
incitement to
link.
violence.
There's a link in the bio on the YouTube.
10,000 signatures. Hashtag decapitate Sarah Wayne Callis.
We are not inciting people to decapitation.
No.
I
am joking. I do think she's a terrible actress.
It's just end her career. Just do that instead. But yeah, so season 4, they have to break in.
Yeah.
And
and then you find out in the second half of series 4 that it's like this supercomputer, infinite energy, which Michael figures out in a dream while he's getting brain surgery.
I feel it's like the Doctor Who hand thing.
Okay.
Let's not go
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get to season 5.
Yes, because
why the fuck did they bring it
because
back?
series 4 was technically the end of the show. It was in 2009. The show ended. They did like a 2-part special not long after that, and then Prison Break ended.
Yeah, definitively.
Because the very end of series 4 is all of the surviving characters of the show visiting Michael's grave.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then in the 2-part special, you find out how Michael actually died.
Yes.
And even though we don't see him die, it's very clear he's died.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. Because I'm going to say it because it's like series 5 contradicts it completely.
Yeah.
The end of series 4, Michael's and Lincoln's mother, who's presumed dead for most of the show, comes back into it. And she's like a rogue company agent who's trying to steal Scylla, which is the name of the supercomputer, to sell to like the Chinese, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. And who kills her?
Sarah.
Sarah kills her, right?
Fair.
Because she's evil and she has to die, blah, blah, blah.
Cool.
But enough about Sarah.
Sorry?
But enough about Sarah.
But enough about Sarah. Well, no, because...
That was a joke. Go on.
Oh, I see what you're doing, yes. Yeah. Well, you touched my leg as if like, oh, you don't get
Your
it.
knee. I didn't need to like fully touch it.
Okay.
Now I'm touching it.
But it was kind of like one of those like, oh, bless you, kind of pats.
Oh no, that wasn't meant to be a condescending pat.
Okay.
That was meant to be a never mind pat.
Oh, I see, okay.
Never mind.
Never mind, okay. Never mind. I don't know what that... because that was supposed to be like
Did you?
the
Did
Nevada
you?
album.
Did, yeah, you.
Yeah, but I
You
couldn't think of
thought
any of the
songs.
songs. So I just kind of
How
said it
about,
in like a
oh
shit
well,
cook.
whatever, never
Yeah.
mind. You can actually sing the lyrics.
Just like, I
You know,
forgot
I
every
thought
song
that's
and
what
also
happened
what
there.
Kurt Cobain sounds like,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
still going for this joke. Sorry.
I know, it's equivalent to me of you making a Beatles thing and me going, the White Album.
Hybrid theory. Yeah, so she kills Michael's mother. And then at the beginning of the final break, which is the 2-part special that came out, like the epilogue
Yeah,
to
they
series
put
4.
the 2-part special together as one.
Yes. They've all been exonerated at the end of the show. They're all free. Everyone is free. But Sarah Wayne
that is
Callies... Yes, Sarah Wayne Callies was never on the run.
No.
No, she's always been a free woman. But at the beginning of the final break, she's arrested for murdering Michael's mother, right? So they put her in prison. She's also pregnant at the time, which is why Michael would break her out anyway because he's Michael Scofield. That's what he does.
Yeah.
But she's pregnant as like an extra, like, oh, we have to get her out now. And at the end of the special, they're like underneath the prison, and there's like a security door they can't get through. And Michael's like, oh, the only way for me to get through this security door is to basically electrocute myself to death.
Yeah.
So you'll just have to go on without me. So he does that. He electrocutes himself to death, and then the series ends, and it's like, oh, that's how Michael Scofield died, because he also has like brain tumor.
One further detail.
Yeah.
In the finale, just before the final break, after they've been exonerated, he's with Sarah on a beach. It's a nice scene, they're hugging, and his nose starts bleeding. Now that character previously has had tumours.
Okay.
So it's like, right, it's come back. And then it goes from that to his grave, so you are meant to assume that he's died of the tumour or something like that.
Yeah.
But then the final break happens. It's like, no, actually, he sacrificed
himself. And then I think in his...
But either way, the tumour...
No, because he says in his tape that the show ends with Lincoln and Sarah watching Michael's, like, final confession.
Yeah.
And he says, like, the brain tumor came back, I was gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
So I just sacrificed myself to save you.
We're free.
Wrong choice, because I'd have killed Sarah Wayne Callies.
But she is now on the run, right? Because the show is, like, her and Lincoln on a yacht to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, because she's on the run, because she's wanted for murder, and she's broken out of prison.
Yeah, and the final line of the whole show, Michael on this, like, farewell video is him saying, we're free, we're finally free. Which, you know, is obvious, but yeah, that's how you end Prison Break.
Yeah.
Is on the line, we're finally free.
We're finally free. Yeah.
So it got renewed for season 5.
Series 5, right? Okay.
Series 5 came out in what, 17?
Yeah,
I've got it up.
Okay,
Yeah.
keep in mind, listeners and Eddie, where this show started with a man wanting to break his brother out of prison because his brother was convicted of a murder he didn't commit.
Yeah.
Okay? In Series 5, Michael has been hired by a rogue CIA operative who is sending Michael to prisons all over the world to break out terrorists to destabilize certain parts of the third world, or just countries in general, so that America can step in and tighten its grasp on their resources and their people. So Michael is in a prison in Yemen.
Yep.
Under the name Kanal Autis, as like this international terrorist type. And he is, like, we're supposed to believe, because the first 3 episodes, he's like, oh, I'm Kanal Autis, I'm not Michael Scofield.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to believe, like, oh, this isn't Michael Scofield, even though it's clearly fucking Michael Scofield, you know? And even all the characters, like, it's clearly Michael. Lincoln, with his newfound freedom, he's just gone back to being a common street thug. And he's in the exact same position as when the show started, where he just owes money to these, like, really powerful people. And Sarah Wayne Callies is living in Ithaca, New York, remarried.
Yeah, with his son.
With her son.
What a slut.
She was on the run.
Yeah.
She was on the run from the law. She was never set foot in America again because she's wanted for murder. And she's just, like, living in Ithaca. And the show never addresses
No,
it.
it never even bothers to address
It never
that.
even bothers addressing it. I genuinely thought we'd missed something.
Yeah.
But, like, scrolling, like, through the wiki and everything. No, it's just, like, ignored completely.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll bring it up in the next series.
Well, yeah.
Because I've just seen that on this article
Yeah.
I'm looking at that they're doing a 6th.
Yep.
They've been saying that for, like, 2 or 3 years, and there's been no, like, nothing's really happened
Nothing
since.
yet.
So I don't know, but I think
It'll come back.
Yeah, it's definitely coming back. Yes.
And they've got to do nothing original, because that's what everyone does now.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, Series 5 is set in Yemen, and Lincoln goes over to Yemen and he has to like help. No, like what's he doing? What does Lincoln do? Because Michael just escapes on his own.
Well, he goes over there to help him, doesn't he?
Yes, but then Michael's like, I don't need your help. I'm not Michael Schofield.
Yeah.
And then he just like escapes.
Yeah. He escapes. So they're in ISIS territory.
Oh fuck yeah! I forgot about. How did I forget about ISIS?
This is basically this is it.
Oh yeah. Series 5, they fight ISIS.
They
right?
they kill the leader of ISIS.
Okay.
There's an image for me now that I suppose, in retrospect, sort of visually encapsulates what jumping the shark means. With stories, and that is okay. Premise. So if we're going from point alpha to point omega, premise is man is wrongly convicted of a crime. Brother breaks into prison to break him out. Gets himself in prison to break him out. The omega, Lincoln burrows on the back of a truck with a Gatling gun, aiming it at ISIS soldiers.
Yeah.
On a terrible green screen.
Yes.
That is the biggest shark jump, I think, in the history of storytelling.
Is this the revelation that this has all been building up to?
Yeah, sort of.
Yes, okay. So yes, the reason this is all, we've been saying all of this.
But no, all that, we have to talk about season 5, but
yes,
that detail I want to get in.
Yeah, okay. Yes, because I really like Prison Break. Series 3 I don't like, Series 4 is just kind of absurd.
So you like seasons 1 and 2?
I like seasons 1 and 2 of Prison Break, but I genuinely do. For a while, it was my favourite show, but that was kind of like a while ago before I'd seen more stuff. But even so, I still have a fondness for Prison Break. Yeah, I've always got time for like series 1 and series 2.
Yeah, I've got a fondness for the first like 2 seasons of The Walking Dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Not anymore. But, the show's shit now.
Sam doesn't share my fondness.
I saw Prison Break when I was 12. So I really liked it at the time.
Yeah.
And just over time, no, it's just gone down and down. And now there are things about the first and second season that I look at and I can appreciate, but it's not good.
Okay.
I don't think.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Whereas I think, as far as network television goes, it's not Lost. I think Lost is probably still the pinnacle
That's
of network television, but Prison Break is still a good example of network television. Series 1 in particular, I think. Well, yeah, probably mainly Series 1.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want like good network television, I think Prison Break is a fairly safe bet.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe don't watch past Series 2.
Yes.
I'm definitely not going to watch either or Lost, because Lost really wasn't.
Okay. Lost is the best network show, I would say.
It probably is, yeah. You didn't want to watch Series 5?
No.
Because I watched Series 5 when it aired, and it was terrible, and I was insisting to Sam, watch this, it's terrible.
It's so terrible, you love it. And then I watched Prison Break with my father, who's also a big fan. And now I'm watching it with my grandfather, who is a big fan. So yeah, I've been through it a couple of times. So I was now that I've exhausted a lot of options, things to watch with those two, I've been in the mindset of, right, can I tolerate season 5? Because they might like it, I won't. But so I thought, right, I'll watch it with Jordan to sort of vet whether I'm able to tolerate it.
Yeah.
Did I tolerate it? It was tough. It was really tough going.
Yeah, I was worried initially because I hadn't seen it since it had aired.
Yeah.
In the first episode or two, there's kind of like an initial shock of like, oh, this is really bad.
Yeah.
But then after like the next couple of episodes, it's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
So I was worried like, oh shit, I just misremembered it.
Yeah.
But by the time we get to the end of Series 5, my brain just kind of melted.
Oh yeah, just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was honestly, like, my mouth was agape at some of the stuff that was happening. I actually couldn't believe they were doing some of this stuff. And in the final episode, moments kept occurring where I thought, right, that's the most stupid thing I've ever seen on television ever.
Yeah.
And then it would be surpassed by the next scene.
Yeah.
Constantly. Like, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah. Because I think Prison Break is, the first season in particular, I think a lot of people would call it like smart, the way it's sort of kind of...
Some people might call it that, yeah.
Yes. Well, no, because it's very kind of...
That just sounded... Some people.
I think... right, okay. I'm not saying you have to be an idiot to like Prison Break. I'm not saying that. But I think it's an idiot's idea of clever.
Okay. Because it's plotted in a way that where it's kind of like, oh, this thing has happened, which has led to this complication, so this is the solution, but we can't do that solution because this further complication has occurred, which means that I have to do this. But that's like, so it's kind of almost like a snowball effect sometimes.
Yeah, it's not clever, but it's also cheap clever. It's easy clever.
Okay.
It's not like really smart, it's kind of, it's clever.
My point was going to be like the dialogue has never been great, it's mostly just functional.
No, it's not.
No.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Would you agree it's functional?
Yeah, broadly.
Yeah, it's broadly
But it's terrible dialogue for all of the show.
Okay. But Series 5 in particular.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could remember some of like the shit they say.
Who's the writer?
The showrunner is a guy called Paul T. Schuring, I think.
Is he known for anything good?
I don't think so.
I don't know what else he's done.
I think this might be like his thing, like just Prison Break is his thing. But
yeah, the writing is a lot worse.
Oh yeah,
The filmmaking is a lot worse because it's filmed like most normal network shows, where it's just kind of like constantly on a tripod or like a dolly.
Yeah.
And the camera just kind of moves every now and again. But Series 5, they go for kind of like this handheld look. And like whenever they're in America, because it goes back and forth between Yemen and America.
Yeah.
And whenever they're in Yemen, everything is orange. Everything is color corrected orange.
Yeah.
And when they're in New York or America, for some reason, all of like the shots, like the lights in the background is like blown out.
Yes.
So even though they're out in the streets, it just looks like they're against this white backdrop.
It's sort of like a shitty version of the film Traffic, which they do a similar thing where they color grade it.
Okay.
Based on stuff in America is like very blue.
Yeah.
And very dark.
Yeah.
And then over the border, but that's well done.
Well, no, it's not an uncommon technique, but it's just so like bad the way they do it.
It's very badly done.
And the editing as well. Because again, the editing, it's edited like a normal network show. Yeah. It's not bad editing, but it's not like exceptional or noticeable in any real way.
No, like when you get to a certain, amount of money, a certain degree of status, editing just becomes, there's a bare minimum standard of
pretty much.
It's decent. Like you don't notice it, it's fine.
Same with sound, same with like cinematography to a degree. It's just kind of like, it's all just kind of here.
Yeah. But the editing was bad.
There were like several moments where they would cut to the next scene before the last scene had finished. So there'd be two characters in like an aircraft hangar talking, and then it would cut to a guy in an office, but the dialogue from the last scene is still happening.
Yeah, and not in like it's tying the scenes together.
No.
It's just clumsy.
Yeah.
It's just that they've accidentally left a bit in that. Yeah, but there was one particular thing that we noticed. I think it's for a couple of episodes, wasn't it?
Yes.
Lincoln, he's with the group that have escaped the Yemeni prison. And so they're kind of in the streets in this ISIL-controlled territory, avoiding detection. And whenever the camera was on him, he would never be in the frame with anybody else.
Yeah.
But every other character, you'd see the group together, and like, right. I started to notice that, like, because he's bald, there was a weird, like, sheen around his head that looked like it might have been green screened, the background.
Okay.
It's like, right, what's going on there? So I start to think, right, I think that he's not in the he's not filming the scenes with these other actors. Yeah. He's been green screened in. And then I said that to you, and you're like, yeah. And then we just kept noticing that whenever he was on screen, it would look like green screen. And he never shared the scene.
Never shared it, yeah.
And if he was, it was like behind, so it was clearly a stunt double or something.
Yeah.
So then we looked it up, and it was, right? Like he was injured or something.
Yeah, he was injured, so they green screened him in. But that was like a proper, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
The thing that kind of really gave it away is that Gatling gun scene.
Yes.
Where they've just broken out of prison. They're surrounded by ISIS troops. Michael's about to get beheaded. Because they're recording. Because they immediately get out their camera and just put like a machete to this guy's head. Because they're ISIS. Because that's what they do. And Lincoln gets up on like a Gatling gun. And like the shots with like Michael and the ISIS groups, it's in the daytime, right? Or is it's in the daytime, so it's just kind of like, pretty. You get like a couple of shadows here and there, but it's just very like even lighting because they're just out in the middle of the street. Cuts to Lincoln and he's like in shadow.
Yeah.
And like all of the blacks on his face from like the shadows are like really dark and crushed.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even look like he's in the same location, let alone in the same scene as them.
Yeah.
So distracting.
It was just so badly done.
Yeah.
Just kind of, they just didn't give a shit. You could tell they just did not.
No.
care.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but
Because again, like you said, once you get to like a certain level,
yeah,
like this
there's a
kind of-
standard it doesn't drop below.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and this was not meeting
This
that
dipped
standard.
way below that standard.
Yeah.
I like the writing for like the the fundamentalist characters. Look, I'm not saying that ISIS have a particularly sophisticated philosophy. It's quite straightforward. It's in the book. They listen to the book. But the dialogue, like they would, every sentence would be, "You infidel dogs, you infidels, you dogs." It's like,
Allah will
God's
forgive
sake,
me. Allah will not forgive you.
yeah, you're going to hell and I'm going to paradise. Like, you can do better than this.
Yeah.
I know it's on Fox, which probably are not big in the business of, giving nuanced depictions of terrorists.
Yeah.
But still, we can do better than this. It
Yeah.
was so bad.
I said to you as a joke in like episode 1, because obviously
Yeah.
they're in Yemen, and Yemen is in the process of being systematically overtaken by ISIS.
Yeah.
So there's just constantly explosions in the background. And like, so I said like, oh, the joke is going to be like every other line of dialogue is going to be the city is falling apart.
Yeah.
And, all that. And then it literally
yeah.
literally every other piece of dialogue is this city doesn't have one more day. We got to break out now.
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's not good.
No.
But like,
What's the most-
there's a line where I can't remember the name of the concept. It starts with a T, I think. Basically, where Muslims, they're kind of, there's this idea that they're allowed to lie to non-believers to advance their cause. It's like a religious prescription. It's like tariq or something. I can't remember it, or tafiq. And that's like the deepest they get in terms of. So they have to break this ISIS guy out of prison.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, I'll let you live. Yeah, I'll let you live. I promise if you break me out." And then they get intercepted. They're about to cut his head off, and he goes, "You lied to us." And he's like, Tafiq, we are allowed to lie to non-believers. And you could tell the writers were high-fiving the day they came up with that. Just like, "Oh, mate, we've got such a layered understanding of Islam."
Yeah.
It's like high-fiving in the writers' room. And it's like, it's just a gesture towards depth that is just completely let down by the rest of the show.
Yes.
It's really terrible. I can't stress how terrible it is.
What is the most baffling thing that happened for you?
Baffling.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's one more detail I want to bring up about Prison Break broadly. Not broadly. That was that Freudian slip.
Broadly, yeah.
The main comic relief throughout the entire show is his character named Theodore Bagwell, Teabag they call him, who is a child...
A paedophile rapist serial killer.
And he is called Teabag, and he is the show's main comic relief.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire
And
thing.
he is pretty much the best thing about the show.
Yeah.
Because he camps it up with this Alabama accent. Michael Schofield. And it's Schofield. It's very over the top and like what the show deserves. Right? But he's sort of he goes from being one of the main villains, because he breaks out with them, to being kind of a nuisance. A recurring nuisance. And in season 5, so he's back in prison at the end of the show, back in Fox River where he began. He is released. Bear in mind, he's a serial killer who kills children and rapes
He's
them.
got 9 life sentences.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he is released from prison, and then is kind of drawn into everything that's going on with Michael and everything really badly.
Yeah.
You find out, right, that Michael is in prison in Yemen with Teabag's biological son that he didn't know existed. And Michael is kind of trying to align the fates so that Teabag meets his son. So eventually they break out of this prison. They get back to America. Teabag meets his son. They bond. They bond over the fact that they both have been in prisons and have risen to the top of the food chain in prisons. And they find out that this has happened. And Teabag's like, it's in your DNA, rising to the top of the food chain in a prison. Of course it is. I passed it on to you. Right. And then he's like, Michael, why have you done this? Why have you introduced me to my son? What's all this like? He's like, I thought that if I extended you the courtesy of doing something nice for you, you would kill a man for me and go back in prison. And basically this rogue CIA dude that's been getting Michael to do all these things around the world, he wants Teabag to kill him to end all the suffering.
Oh yeah, because the CIA do turn on Michael. That's why he's stuck in Yemen.
Oh, okay.
And just as another middle finger, the CIA dude is the guy that has married Sarah Wayne Callies. Yeah, and it turns out that he's like the uber villain of Blofeld for all this stuff.
They genuinely make it out that he's like Michael's Joker.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, like he's his chess.
There's literally a scene There's literally a scene at the end of like the show where they're in a warehouse. And they're like, I had a contingency for this. Oh yeah, well I had a contingency for your contingency. Oh yeah, well my contingency is your contingency.
Literally, basically that's verbatim dialogue.
Yeah.
And okay, so that was the peak of stupid for a while.
Yeah.
And then so they're having the big culmination of all this. They're in this warehouse, they're having a standoff. Now, the reason Michael, the CIA dude had over Michael is they went to the cabin of this, what was he, a senator or something?
I think he was the head of the CIA.
Head of the CIA. And this dude, the villain, killed him and doctored the footage to make it look like Michael killed him. And that was like the hold he had over him.
Which is a callback to, because that's exactly what they did to Lincoln Burrows in the first series.
Yeah. And it ends in this warehouse. The villain starts pursuing Michael through the warehouse. And they end up in a room, like a locker. Not a locker.
No, it's the back of the truck.
Yeah, the back of a truck. What do you call it? What are those things called that you get on ships? The fucking... cargo...
Shipping container.
Cargo container, yeah. Shipping container. That Michael has had a... Oh, God, I can't even... Right.
Michael, on his travels, Michael broke an Elvis impersonator out of a prison in somewhere, right? This Elvis impersonator just so happens to be able to create super detailed lifelike dioramas.
Yeah.
So Michael hires him to recreate a lifelike diorama of the murder scene. Michael then runs into the shipping container, having put on this jacket. And like, why is he wearing this jacket? Why is he stopped during this chase, put on this jacket? He runs into the shipping container. The guy runs through, shoots him in the back, in the shipping container, which is an exact replica of the murder scene. So he just kind of reframes him for the murder that he framed Michael for.
And that is when I didn't even know things had broken at that point.
Yeah.
It's like, right, that is the most stupid thing.
You've almost just stopped processing what's happening. Because you can't, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I think you spent about 10 minutes explaining season 5 to me.
Right.
And I've never felt like I need a drink more in my life.
It's just kind of, you really need to, it's a cumulative kind of effect of, like I said, it starts off just like kind of, oh, this is just bad. This is subpar stuff.
Yeah.
Then it gets boring. Then it gets mad. And by the end of it, it's insane.
Yeah.
And we watched most of it in one sitting. We watched like 6 episodes in one sitting.
Which is probably not advised.
No, but like at the end of it, you will feel like something in the universe is broken.
Yeah.
So in a sense, like, recommend it.
We haven't even talked about the owl.
Oh.
The first shot of series 5 is this owl with like its back to you. Okay.
This will be the last bit we talk about.
Yeah.
I promise.
We
I'm going to switch off otherwise.
As amazing as it is, and I don't I do recommend it though. Is the thing. I do recommend series 5 because it is just so.
I can't sincerely.
Oh yeah, it's not in the same vein as like the Irishman or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking for so bad it's a good thing and willing to dedicate time to 9 episodes of a series.
Should I explain this thing? Because I feel like I'll do it quicker.
If you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So very quickly, the villain has an office in a university.
Yes.
And to get into that office, it's facial recognition software. Okay. So he stands there, reads and he gets it, whatever. And Michael's been there with him, so he knows this exists.
Yes.
Now, we know through the season Michael's had new tattoos on his hands. You can't really make out what it is.
No.
Now, back when Michael first fell under the control of the CIA man and couldn't see his wife and son.
Oh yeah, he made him fake his own death.
He made him fake his own death.
This is how Michael is alive.
Sarah and the son went to a zoo. And Michael kind of was there in the distance, kind of watching them like, oh, my family. And then the villain was there watching Michael watch his family, right? And like, oh, he's going to try and get back in contact with them. There's an owl at the zoo. And Michael, by the end of the season, when he's broken out and everything, Michael lures the villain to that zoo.
Yeah.
And, there's all this stuff about, checkmate, chess, like I win, you win, And the villain's there. And you find out that Michael is a trap, and Michael's actually gone to the university where this office is, and has had the villain's face tattooed on his hands, stands in front of the facial recognition software, holds his hands up over his face, and it recognizes it, and he gets into this office. And as this guy realizes he's been bested at the zoo, the owl snaps its head dramatically at the camera.
Yeah, and there's like a boom sound effect.
And that is the last thing I will say.
No, it's also worth mentioning that, like, because Michael has eyes tattooed on the palms of his hands, like these big eyes. He sent a photograph to the Elvis impersonator, which the villain somehow intercepted.
Yeah.
And it turns out that within the ink strokes, there are like patterns that when the villain's like tech guy is reading them, it's something like
It's code. It's code that basically spells out I've beaten you.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, like I win the
But in a
game.
poetic way.
But it's like
Give
literally
him the middle finger. Fucking hell.
it's literally within like the stroke of the ink there are like these patterns.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
guy's just been like drawing, like giving himself henna tattoos in prison. And he's managed to encode like these messages into the strokes of the ink that are read out at the exact moment that he bests the villain.
Let's leave it there.
Okay.
Let's leave Prison Break
Yeah.
there, because Eddie is going into anaphylactic shock. This is sort of how the Doctor Who conversation.
Yes, this is exactly Doctor
Yeah.
Who.
Now know my pain.
I kind of wish that there was something more to dig into with Series 5.
There's not. It's barely.
Because at this thing, I really do like talking about it because of how bad it is.
Yeah.
But it is just kind of us reciting, like, and then this happens.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this
And
happens.
Eddie hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm not going to watch it.
No, don't.
Okay.
Like really don't. Really.
Well, I don't know. If anything of this, if anything we've said has caught your attention, then it might be worth delving into.
Yeah.
Even if you watched the original Prison Break, if you thought Series 4 was jumping the shark, like fucking hell, look at where it ends up.
Yeah. On that note.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Let's end it there then.
Let's end it there.
Okay.
We'll see you next time for the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Woo!